Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Fanadian here. I'd like to welcome you all to another video, and today I'm going to be doing a little game preview for the Miami Dolphins' upcoming game against the New England Patriots. That is right, week 1 of the NFL football season is finally here, and I am super excited for the Miami Dolphins' first game, especially because it's a big one, right? We got a divisional opponent, and we have two teams that both have playoff dreams. And this is also going to be a big game for the Dolphins because just like last year, the Dolphins' first two games are against the Patriots and the Bills. Last year, the Dolphins started the season 0-2, and that was a big reason why they ended up missing the playoffs. So this is going to be a huge game for the Dolphins to win. This is also a pretty big game because it's the Alabama Bowl. You got Tua Tagovailoa going up against Mac Jones, the other Alabama quarterback from last year. And there's been a lot of talk about who's going to be better this game, and this game is going to be huge for the fans because we all know whatever fan base wins is going to be doing a lot of shit talking, and we all know there's going to be a lot of hot takes coming from all these shows on ESPN and whatnot. So this is going to be a huge game for the Dolphins for many reasons. So I'm just going to go into what are some of the main keys I think for Miami and how they got to win this football game. And the first one is going to be they got to stop the run, and we can't let Damian Harris run all over the Fins. The Dolphins really struggled against the run last year, so we really need to improve on that this year, and we need to make the rookie quarterback Mac Jones beat us, right? We can't make it easy for him, and we got to make him throw against these Dolphins corners. This is the biggest strength of the Fins teams, especially when it comes to taking the ball away. The Dolphins have a pretty confusing defense. We saw what they did to Justin Herbert last year. Let's see what they could do against Mac Jones this year. These Dolphins corners should be able to handle these Patriots wide receivers. Byron Jones, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays in this game, especially going up against Nelson Agholor, who played for the Raiders last year, had those two big catches against Byron in that game at the end of the game there. Xavier Howard led the league in interceptions last year. Let's see how he does. Even though these corners should be able to handle these Patriots wide receivers, I feel like when it comes to the Patriots receiving game, their main strength is going to be tight ends, Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. So the team will have to, try and make an effort to stop these guys. This will be a big game for Eric Rowe. The team will really be counting on him to, at least shut one of these guys down here. Another big thing for the Fins here is going to be the O-line, and they need to not be horrible, right? The expectation for the offensive line is not super high, and with Austin Jackson most likely going to be missing this game with COVID-19, it's going to be very scary for the Fins, especially because the Patriots do have a very improved defensive line. They have some really strong players on their D-line, so we're going to need this O-line to really step up this game, because if the O-line doesn't play good, it really doesn't matter how much better the receivers are, how much better Tua is, and we're not going to be able to run the football if all the running backs are just getting tackled, right when they get the ball. So we're going to need a very improved offensive line performance. I'm going to be looking at all these young guys. I want to see, even necessarily where they use these guys, right? If Austin Jackson's out, is it going to be Greg Little stepping in? Is Liam Eichenberg going to play left tackle? Where are they going to play Jesse Davis? Is Solomon Kinley going to start at left guard? There are a ton of questions for this Dolphins offensive line, so hopefully some of them could get answered in this game. Another big thing is going to be the team has to pressure Mac Jones, like I mentioned earlier. You can't make things easy for this rookie quarterback, so the team has to generate pressure. The team did struggle with that a bit last year. The only time they could ever get pressure is when doing these crazy, cover zero blitzes. So hopefully they can do that this year. We're going to be watching the rookie Jalen Phillips, obviously. Emmanuel Ogbah, who's going to be trying to get a big contract from the team. I'll be watching him because this Patriots offensive line is elite. They have a very strong offensive line, a lot of very good players across all O-line positions. So this is going to be a huge test for this Dolphins D-line. And the last big thing I think is going to be you got to win the turnover battle and no sloppy shit, right? It's the first game. I'm expecting there to be a bit more penalties. You saw that Thursday night game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They had 4 turnovers, quite a few penalties in this game. It's week 1. These teams are notoriously known for not having a lot of penalties, so hopefully they can keep that up, because honestly a big turnover could be the big decider in this game. Both teams generate a lot of turnovers. You got Xavier Howard, JC Jackson on the Patriots, so that's going to be a big decider for this game. We don't want to see any big drives get ruined because of penalties. We saw last year the Dolphins really had a hard time. If they did have a penalty on a drive, it would usually kill it, so hopefully there's no big penalties this game. So what are some of the big things I'm going to be watching for in this football game? I think for me, player snap counts, right? Specifically the rookies. How much Jalen Waddle are we going to see in this game? Jalen Phillips, I mentioned him earlier. How much of him are we going to see? Javon Holland, he's currently the number 2 safety behind Jason McCourty. How much do they rotate in Holland? Do they line him up in the nickel? Do they just primarily play him at safety? I'm very interested to see his usage. There's a lot of guys I want to see how much they use them, right? Nick Needham, the entire wide receiver rotation without Will Fuller being in this game because he's suspended. How much Albert Wilson do we get? Do we see any Mac Hollins? Is it going to be a lot of Devontae Parker? I really do not know. So that's going to be something I'm going to be watching. Even you could even say returning, right? Is it going to be Jakeem Grant doing a lot of it, or Jalen Waddle here? And the other thing I'm really going to be watching here, and I think everyone's going to be watching, is Tua's performance. There has been a lot of unfortunate things being said about Tua leading up to this game. A lot of haters, a lot of non-believers. This Deshaun Watson stuff hasn't helped them. Now you got all this captain nonsense happening and people complaining online. So I would really love to see Tua just ball out in this game and shut up all these haters, because if he doesn't and he has a hard game, we're not going to hear the end of this stuff. The Deshaun rumors are going to keep on going. People are going to keep on doubting and hating on the Finns. So watching Tua have a big game is going to be huge. So for my prediction for how I think this game is going to go, I think it's a really close game. I think if I had to give like odds, it would be like 60-40 for the Finns. That's not score, that's just like percentages. If I had to try and do a score update, most likely I feel like it'll probably be like a 28-21 type of game, but you never know when these teams play each other. It could be a complete stomp. I really think it'll be either really close or a complete stomp. The thing is, even though I did say I think the Finns are going to win, the Finns and the Patriots usually always split, and it's usually the Patriots that always win in Foxborough and the Dolphins that always win in Miami. But I'm really hoping that this game they could end that and the Dolphins could come away with a W and start the season off with a win, and that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching this video, everybody. Let me know what you thought of it, if you liked it, if you hated it. I think my plan for these game previews is to try and keep them, short and sweet. I'll let the other bigger Dolphins YouTubers do those big 20-minute breakdown videos. I'm just going to do quick, just what are the main things for this game, what am I watching for kind of stuff. So let me know in the comments how I can improve it. What do you want to hear me talk about? Maybe like the injury report or something. Let me know down below. Like I said, like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more Dolphins content. And thanks for watching, everybody.